Well guys, I'm happy to report it didn't rain this week, which means we're getting lots done at the cottage, and this week I have a whole list of projects that need to be completed so they can start framing on Saturday. I feel like it took so long to get to this point, but now things are moving quicker. I am meeting with the framer that is coming out here to do some structural changes, like the openings and stuff that we wanted, and then some other additions for some framing that we're gonna be putting in the kitchen, and also the guest bathroom that's gonna have a lot of storage. And simultaneously, we are gearing up to pour the foundation for the addition. But, before I get ahead of myself, we have a lot of things to accomplish before Saturday. So, we need to make a list. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is I looked over all of the sheetrock that existed in the house, which isn't a ton. Seems to be almost deteriorating, like falling apart. A lot of places are cracked and need to be repaired anyways. And really the majority of the sheetrock is in the dining room area. So instead of stripping the sheetrock of the wallpaper, we're just gonna be replacing the sheetrock because we don't think that it's going to last very long. Remove the sheetrock in the dining room area, remove the sheetrock that's left, which isn't a lot, in the living room. The next thing that we need to do is patch the wood floor in the places that are large holes, like the one in the kitchen. So they didn't have wood flooring here. I think they did originally, but they must have had some kind of leak and they replaced it with plywood. And thank goodness we salvaged so much wood flooring from my parents' property, which is Fox Run, which you guys probably remember. Once that's done, we're gonna clear everything out of their way. We're gonna remove the plywood, the beadboard that I have stored in here. The only thing that's gonna be left is the fan and the extra 2x4s that I've already purchased that they're going to be using. So we need to clear everything out. I ran to Home Depot and picked up some paper and tape so that we can actually cover the floors so they don't mess up the flooring when they're actually working inside the house. So we're gonna lay all of that out really good. So that's why we gotta clean first. And before we vacuum, we need to remove all of the ceiling fans and the lighting from inside the house because that's not where the future lighting and ceiling fans, if there are gonna be any, are going to be. Since we're meeting with the framers and we're actually gonna walk through the main house, talking through the plan that he already has, I'm gonna actually mark where the new windows are going to be, where the new doors are going to be, because it's just gonna make it that much easier and they're just gonna be able to come in, cut the holes. I'm almost positive I'm going to be adding to that list, but that's a good place to start. Remember that really pretty wallpaper that we found in that room in the entryway? It was like this yellow toile. There's many different wallpapers even in the same room. This one with the little purple flowers, I don't like. But it could be worse. It could look like this. Look at this one. All these tiny little nails. So many. At least they come out easy. Another wallpaper, another one, a different one. So there's been 8 different wallpapers in 3 rooms. They just kept wallpapering over the top of it.
Feeling in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky.
Hopefully this one's easier than the last one we did. Are you prepared? No. I mean, I'm only 5'3".
To make something right, make up for what I
like a look like this and then a wheel. I've got to slip the wheel.
Alas, you are a girl.
That's a lot better than the other one.
Yay! Daddy to the rescue.
Oh, good job, Dad.
Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on, caught by surprise by you.
That was the hardest one to do. We're kind of jumping around jobs. Got all of that sheetrock down, a little wallpaper, and we got all the fans and the lighting down, but now we have a whole nother room to do sheetrock, so I can't cross anything off my list.
Can we get a dry erase board? I like to erase.
You like to erase? I like to cross out. I like to see that something was crossed out. Right? Makes you feel more accomplished that way. If it's gone, like you did nothing.
Well, I never know what you do with you, and I never know what to say to you. It's always sunny where you are from. I know it's no wonder you're
So I had no idea what tape to get, because I was like, I don't want it to leave sticky stuff on the floor, but also a lot of the tapes that don't do that are really expensive. I got this 3M no residue tape, and it says 6 months clean removal. And in the middle, this was expensive, so in the middle I was just gonna do the masking tape to tape them together. Like here?
Yeah.
So it is now Saturday, and yes, there is still so much more to do. I wanted to have that whole list done by today. I knew it was ambitious. It's just mostly me, and my mom came to help me for a few hours yesterday, which made it go even faster. So we're just having a meeting with the framer today to walk through the space, to explain to him what's on the plans, what's here, what's not here, what he's going to be building, what he can reuse from what's here. So I wanted to share my design plans with you guys. I had all new plans printed for them. I've been working on these plans for months and months to make them perfect for the inside of the house. When you're doing a new build, the plans can be super easy. Nothing's there yet. So it can be whatever you want it to be. When you're dealing with a renovation, you have to deal with what walls are existing, which ones are load bearing, the flow, how thick the walls are, what are you saving, what are you moving, what are you keeping. It's like a whole process. So it took months for me to really nail it down. But in addition to the plans, I wanted to provide them with a design packet. And there are some things that are incredibly custom that I want in this house. So that involves a little more in-depth and detail. I made a packet for them. Then this is what I'll use as a guide as we walk through the house. This is obviously the elevation of the house. It doesn't have any dimensions on it because I'm still working on that, because we are rebuilding the porch. And I wanna see what our options are in terms of height. But when we get there, I'll be adding in the dimensions and measurements and stuff. But this is what our new porch is gonna look like. And then we'll kind of go like room by room. I have like what our living room windows right behind me will be, the 3, and their measurements. And then what our fireplace is going to be. And I have what fireplace I want to go in there, because I don't want it just a traditional firebox. So it takes specific measurements. So I researched that and put that all in here for them. And then also what it looks like. This really isn't for the framers per se, but maybe because I want this limestone paver veneer to go on top. And then since our house is custom in terms of I'm reusing everything that we already have. Originally the house had all different doors, and they just kind kind of were all random. All the doors, all the windows were all at different heights. In order to streamline that, we had to figure out a solution to balance that. How do we get them all at the same height and also reuse all of the original doors? So we're gonna be putting transom windows in various sizes above each door. And that will allow all of the doors to appear to be the same height since they were all different. I made a diagram for each door and then the kitchen wall. You know, I want that very special detail in the kitchen wall. So I kind of showed them where the cabinetry was gonna go and then also did a diagram because I wanna build out a special boxed window look. So the wall is actually going to be built out 10 inches. So they need to know that for framing purposes and stuff. So my inspiration pictures of what I'm looking for to give them an idea of what they're working on. Because I want it to be like they could walk in tomorrow and start framing this up and we can just roll. You know, we're so close. Met with the framers, my contractor was here. We walked through, I showed him all of my design stuff and like little details here and there. We are starting next Saturday. He said a day to a day and a half worth of work. He just kept saying no problem to everything that I wanted in terms of like headers and stuff. So we're doing it starting on Saturday. That's the next video you guys are gonna see, but we do have some work to do before you see that. We still have to patch the floor. The only thing on my list that they told me that I need to do is order the wood. I have arrived.
Deliver, would Wednesday be okay?
Yeah.
Oh, Thursday? That'd be fine too.
It will be here in time for them to frame on Saturday. So that's really exciting. Wood has come down a tad bit. $1 actually per board, which it's something. Today we are working on patching this floor. This second board here has holes in it that are gonna be right in the walkway.
I like to think I'm kinda tough. Sometimes I feel invincible.
This board is actually okay. It's the one next to it that has the hole, so we could probably put this one back down.
Until you got inside my head with something new.
Have I ever patched a floor before? Laid a floor? Nope. Have I watched a few videos on it? Yes. I'm feeling pretty confident about this because I obviously know how it comes apart. So anything I know how it comes apart, I kind of know how it goes back together. So let's try this out. I also have my dad's nail gun.
I don't need no emotional support.
So of course, where I put the floor that we salvaged from Fox Run was underneath the long table because I wanted it to be out of the way for a few months. Well, now the day has come. It's been a few months and I need it. Now I'm aggravated. It's back there. Ugh. I've just put so much stuff in front of it. I think we can do it. We are gonna do it.
I like to think I'm kinda tough. Sometimes I feel invincible.
Oh, I got a messed up one. There we go.
Feel like I got the right stuff.
Got a piece. This piece we specifically left separate because this is a great transition piece. Okay, we have to be smart about this because I don't have very much of that wood and I need to stretch it as far as possible. If I was to cover this whole area, I would need 93 inches. Each of those boards that I pulled out of the shed, I can't get 2 pieces to go here out of one board. I can only get 1 and then another like 74 inches or so. Since this section right here is all gonna be the island, I don't need to go the whole way. I think I can save 2 foot by putting a 2-foot piece of plywood here because I have plenty of plywood that I picked up from this area. Then I only need 69 inches at most, and then I can get 2 pieces out of each board. Because I have to go to this board because I have to have something to nail it to. We're gonna do that. Next day. I did it! No, I didn't. It was actually a struggle. I got all the pieces cut. using the wrong kind of nails. I think technically I was using too big of a nail. So I got new nails. Then I realized I actually wasn't taking into consideration that these boards are from a house that's like 100 years old or more. And the boards that I'm putting next to each other aren't the boards that were next to each other in that house. So they didn't age together, they didn't grow together. And I was looking for perfection. I was like, why can't I get them close enough? And they're not exactly perfectly straight. Did like a giant puzzle, swapping different boards to see if I could get them to line up better. Finally, I think I'm as close as I'm gonna get. So now that I know which piece comes after which piece, now we just gotta nail it in. That's the whole part of the charm of an old house. It's like, nothing's perfect, and I actually like imperfection, and that we were able to salvage all this floor, so it was free, and it wasn't trash. I think nowadays they actually use staples to do this, but the problem with this older wood is that it already has nail holes or pilot holes from the last floor that it made. So they're too big for staples. They're too big for more of a finishing nail or something like that. I'm using 2-inch nails. Okay, cross your fingers that this next one's gonna actually work. This process should go pretty fast now, right? Oh. So I don't know if this is helpful, but I kind of figured out, well, I got a little trick. If you guys are ever installing floor, I don't know if this will go for new floor too, but for this one especially, it works easiest to get the next piece in is if you kind of lift it a little bit like this so that the groove part can go and slide into the tongue part, the little, the part, because it's tongue and groove floor. So if you lead it up and you start hitting it like that, you can actually get it in to the groove a little better. May I call that a pro tip? I don't know, just for your information. Some of them are hard. They're just like they're not straight. So when I nail it in on this side and it's tight, it pops out the other side. So I can't ever get it close enough. I did that. Let's take a minute. You guys, we can accomplish anything. Maybe that wasn't a big deal to some. That's the first time I've ever done that. That was pretty epic if you ask me. The last piece is always a little different because it's not like you can actually put the piece in, you know, because there's another piece on the other side. So there's just enough space for one more piece. What we're gonna have to do, this tongue part stays, but where there's 2 grooves here, the bottom one, we have to cut off. So when we slide it in this way with the tongue, this top lip just sits on top. We actually have to nail it from the top. I want to use more of a finishing nail or something smaller that goes deeper so that I can actually plug it with wood putty. Let's pat each other on the back because you guys were the only ones here with me. Thank you. So the kitchen wall here, window's gonna be like here, and then there's gonna be a 3-foot, like this, there's gonna be a 3-foot space for our refrigerator, and a wall is gonna come out here, 3 foot. So since a wall comes out like this, we have to remove all of this wainscoting. Not like it's in the way, but we want to reuse it. Now we can do this whole, now that I got that out of the way and I was able to pick up one more piece, this one is gonna be a little different, just because I still have this one beam here, this one, because that one is kind of helping to support the ceiling before they put the headers in. So once they remove that, I'll come back with 2 longer strips right here. 5 pieces at 93 inches. Gotta take the old nails out.
I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right, make up for what I've lost. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise.
Okay,
by you.
now we clean and we put the rest of the paper down. We vacuum.
Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should.
Oh my goodness, you guys, yesterday I was dead. I couldn't even for the life of me get down one more time and put down the paper in the other room that I had to do. I couldn't do it. So I came back this morning and I put the rest of the paper down. I think this is good enough for them. I kept telling everyone, I was like, this is such a waste of paper. Is this really necessary? Like, is this really necessary? Is this really necessary? And then when they said that drywall mud and goop could get all over the floor and be almost impossible to get up, I was like, okay, fine. We'll put the paper down. Also, today was an exciting day because of course, like, how are you gonna have framers come out when you only have like 10 pieces of wood left? We have wood! I ordered it on Monday. I went and I was like, this is what I need. So we did a pretty good job on our list. The only two things left are mark where the windows and doors will go and remove the siding from the back. I'm not gonna remove the siding. This last one was a wish list item. I was like, if I finish all this stuff, that's not urgent for the framers. I showed you guys that I made this packet for them with a lot of the stuff that they're gonna be working on Saturday. I'm actually gonna take this packet apart and I'm going to put the paper on the wall in that area. I feel like that's the best for me. They also have the plans, obviously, but this will just show them this is the door, this is the transom height. They know exactly what to make, 103 inches high, where they need to go, and I'm just gonna tape them to the wall, I feel like that's best. Am I going overboard? Maybe. They're probably gonna be like, this girl, we can read plans. And I'm like, I just wanted to make sure that everything that's in my brain is said. I'm tired and I have to start on the windows. I'm gonna try and start today, but I'm probably gonna start tomorrow, which is Friday, and then work on it Friday. And then when they get here, I'm gonna be working on it Saturday, I'm gonna be working on it Sunday, I'm gonna be working on it Monday, and I'm hoping to get all of the windows and all of the doors done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So next week's video is this was a big video for me. I'm tired, but next week's video is going to be even bigger. They are going to be framing. They're gonna start on the windows and doors. So I know for sure you're gonna see that next week. So if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you know exactly when I upload every Sunday. Renovation is back in full swing. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I'll see you next week. I have to keep working. Bye, guys. It's on my lip. That's what I get. Does vacuum have 2 C's or 2 U's or both? I almost fell through the hole.
Feeling in my bones.
I'm only 5